Hello, hello. It is Tarot Tuesday. So we have a different kind of like spread today. I decided to do a Native American wheel. Basically, it tells you the different forms of season based off of like your internal sanctuary. So just in case you guys don't know what your internal sanctuary means, everyone has a special little dimension on the inside, and that's where people usually go when they're trying to escape from the world and whatnot. So we're going to look at what those seasons are in each one of the quadrants. And before we do that, you're going to pick rather north or south, okay? If you pick north, you're looking for a lot of wisdom. If you pick in south, you need to know all about the present moment, okay? So you're going to take a second to do that. Take a deep breath. This is going to indicate winter, this is going to indicate spring, this is going to indicate summer, and this is going to indicate the fall, all right? So the winter has to do with moments of contemplation. In your original tarot deck, you're going to notice that the winter is usually associated with the Hermit. Springtime is usually tied to judgment. Summer is usually tied to strength. And fall is usually tied to transformation or, again, judgment. So judgment sometimes rolls between these two. And then this one right here is going to be the major energy that's running everything right now. So if you want, you can just pick these color cards if you feel like it, or these color cards, or you can just go with the whole entire reading, or just go with the north or just the south. It just depends on you, okay? Or you can pick a particular season. So right now, even if you're feeling, I like winter and summer, you can go ahead and do that. It's got a lot of variety in this reading overall. So let's get started. We have two dice here. This one's for the sacral chakra and this one's for the crown chakra. The crown chakra is telling us that we're in a dissension node right now. We're stepping into some dark energy that's tied to our subconscious. The sacral chakra is telling us that we need to bring a lot of ascension into our sacral chakra, a lot of positivity, or the sun. We are reading the node of the sun as we dive deeper into this. But just remember, you want to have the sacral chakra just be happy. Deal with those emotions that are dark in there, like try to bring some light in there. If your crown chakra feels lower than normal, that's okay, that's normal. Especially today on the Tarot Tuesday that I'm recording this, there is some cosmic weather happening right now. You might be feeling really lazy, really dragged out, like you just don't want to do anything with your life. That is totally normal. Don't beat yourself up because it's not you, it's something powerful happening in the cosmos. So everyone's being affected by the erase card. So the erase card is basically telling us that there's some things obviously inside of us that don't matter anymore, but we're giving them a lot of weight. We're letting them still linger, whether it's an emotion towards an old friend, family member, or self-limiting beliefs that you have inside of yourself. It's super important that you erase that energy from your system. You can do DNA activations, you can do any of the alchemy that I've given you. You can go ahead and just take some time to journal, all right? Sometimes when you're erasing energy, people are like, I gotta put all of 24 hours continuous meditation just to get that effect going. That's not actually true. Like, erasing is literally just a move of saying, I don't want this anymore. I'm not going to feed it anymore. It's not part of my reality anymore. Some people do that through cooking. Some people do that through masturbation. Some people do that through like just playing with their tarot. Like, it really just depends on who you are and how you release that energy. Like, you don't want to use whatever release technique that you're going to be using as an escape mechanism. You have to use it as a mode of confrontation so you can rewrite your energetic structure. Remember what the two dice said. Your crown chakra is going into a dissension node, okay, because of the fact that you need to erase something. And in your sacral chakra, you need to erase something because this is the primary information here that we're looking at. So then let's look at why your sacral chakra needs some balance. So the sacral chakra, the main thing that you have to bring there into your emotions is peace. Offer peace offerings, maybe to yourself, maybe to an astral projection of someone, right? Like, for me personally, I've been thinking about people that I have left behind for one purpose or another. just because of my own personal growth, right? And sometimes those people kind of like pop in my mind every once in a while. I'm like, I hope that person's doing well, right? But I've had to learn that like that forces me looking into the past and wondering like whether or not I made a good decision playing out the way I played, when right now in this moment I'm happy, right? So like I had to cause a peace offering with my own emotions in my sacral chakra and just be like, hey, I'm living my life. I feel great. Hopefully they're doing the same thing. More power to them, right? So then when it comes to your crown chakra, you need to have persistence. So right now the main thing is you have to have persistence towards your ascension, towards erasing things, towards peace offerings, okay? Because that's the main thing that's going to be playing for this week at least. And I'm going to say all of May, really. I'm picking up that energy of May. It's going to be this constant work all May long, getting rid of these old patterns that don't serve you anymore. You might have been noticing that you were doing really, really great with your manifestations and you were feeling, oh my God, on top of the world, really controlling everything. And then all of a sudden these slight little insecurities or inconsistencies were showing up in your life, and you're starting to question things like, oh my God, maybe I don't have enough momentum again. You're gonna notice that there's always like this ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow as you start, working on yourself and going through this ascension node. So the main thing here is like your main goal is peace, erasing, and persistence. That goes for everyone across the board, regardless if you went up or you went down, or you're getting a little bit of everything around you, okay? Great. So now we're going to look at the winter aspect over here, okay? We're going to start off with these two cards. Winter has to do with times of contemplation and times of self-reflection. Winter and spring are going to be associated with this aspect right here. So whenever you come back and you're like, hey, I really need to see what is happening in this section, this is what's going to be happening, similar as to these three areas right here are going to be playing together. So we're going to start off right here. We're stepping into the Saturn energy. So in this quadrant right here, we have Saturn. And Saturn has to do with this whole entire year. It's Rahu energy. It's like a death, transformation, lots of things going to be happening. We have the green man telling us to retreat to nature. If you've been feeling the last couple of days, hey, I don't want to do absolutely anything but just relax, do it, okay? Like, it's so hard to just say, hey, I cannot do something right now because I feel like I have responsibility or something like, or something like that, right? Like, if you notice, on Saturday, some stuff ended up happening to me where I had to like essentially cancel the webinar that I had on Saturday. That was partially not because of responsibility, but also because of the drain that I was feeling. Sometimes you have to be able to catch yourself and be like, hey, I'm going to take some time for myself and retreat into nature. Since this is talking about our inner sanctuary, retreating into nature would be retreating into yourself and understanding yourself, having the persistence to always walk into that, creating peace in your inner structure, and erasing things in reality that don't serve you. Now we have another card here, the maze. The maze has to do with your soul. So again, just what I ended up telling you right now, your inner sanctuary, your soul, this is what it's all about right now. If you picked this lower quadrant, or if you're curious about how the Rahu Saturn energy is affecting you so far in the month of May. The month of May is going to be very testing because you're not going to have the opportunity to always, just take time to relax for yourself. So the days that you actually have energy to like get things done, if you're a content creator, if you're someone who has like a bunch of chores, those days where you're like, oh yeah, I got all this energy, take advantage of those days. Don't snooze. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow, because tomorrow you might want to retreat into your nature and dive into your soul. All right. So you need to have this constant vigilance of your own habits and your own willpower. And it's okay to have like these ebbs and flow of your willpower. A lot of people are like, oh, I have to be super, super disciplined, right? But that's not always the case. So now we're going to look at these last three cards over here that have to do with winter. Right now is a moment for you to like really step into a 9 aspect. So 9, this has to do with your soul right here. 9 has to do with transformation. The Rahu energy has to do with death and transformation. And it's basically telling you, the wish card, to keep focusing on your manifestation. Manifestation has changed most recently if you haven't paid attention to the constructs of manifestation. But essentially, you're not manifesting in the same way that you used to, where like it just feels like everything's so far away. It feels like things are coming to you regardless of whether or not you're manifesting, but you just want to really just guide exactly what you're trying to manifest into your reality. So you need to put yourself in that mode. Also, when you're doing the wish card, you have to embody the wish in this moment, right? If you wanted a peaceful family life or whatever it is that you're looking for, go ahead and start living that in this present moment. Like, nothing speaks more than words, right? Than actions, not words. Sometimes a lot of people like put out into the universe in terms of words and thoughts of what they want, but they're not actually ever living it. So their manifestation always seems super, super far away. And this is not the case for this particular energy right now in our winter sector. We have 13, death, another transformational card telling you that this moment right now is all about letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. 9, adding into that, 13 is another aspect where 13 is the Ascended Masters. And then we have 11, another manifestation with justice, which is basically reminding you, this card and this card right here, they both really go well together, because justice tells you to remind yourself of the moments where you were at the peak of your nature, all right? When you're at the peak of your nature, that's when you feel most powerful. That's when you feel like you have all this energy working towards you, that you can make anything happen, right? And the green man is telling you to retreat to nature, all right? So retreat into the highest soul caliber of your nature that allows you to fulfill your wish, that allows you to transform, and that allows you to re-embody that manifestation in general, all right? So if you picked this energy over here on this side, you already know what's happening, okay? So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the totem animal that's guiding this lower quadrant right here. It's the eagle. The eagle is a great vibrational totem animal because the ego is tied to also the north, which is Ra energy, like Ra, the Egyptian god Ra, or the sun. The ego is basically someone who's very strong. Right now, this moment is all about strength. It's all about courage. It's all about assuming your own power and not being afraid to make things happen, especially when things seem like they slow down. You cannot even show a level of fear because, like the ego doesn't experience fear like that. The ego just lives its life and then it conquers things as it's necessary. So really start looking into summoning the energy of the ego, and that one's tied to our Venus area, our love center, okay? So if you need to know more information on the totem animal of the ego, I'll post a link underneath this video so you can definitely check out and read all about it. And then we have the arrow in Venus as well. So the arrow is basically telling us that your goal is in sight. Like, you should keep moving towards it. Even though right now there's a moment of like taking a breather, stepping away from all that extra noise. The ego and the ego and the arrow are basically telling you that you see clearly. So the ego is basically telling you, like, you see your goal in sight. The arrow is saying, oh, you're about to make that happen. Just keep going, but also don't burn yourself out. Okay, don't burn yourself out. You're almost there. Just maintain this peace offering that you have internally. So then we're going to go ahead. We're going to look at this section over here. This has to do with the the spring energy. Open your heart to love. We are in spring right now, right? And this card has been coming out a lot during these last couple weeks. So Jesus is telling you straight up, it's a moment during spring to just open your heart to love. And with the snow card, it's telling you to purify the energy that is happening right now. It's all about purification. We're still experiencing the snow energy from the winter because it's carried over, right? So right now, it's all about just opening our hearts to love, being in this present moment, letting things around us purify. You know, there's been things that have been stressing you out, get rid of those stresses. Yesterday I woke up and I was like, oh my God, my house is just like all over the place. So I started like cleaning the house, reorganizing some feng shui stuff because I needed more purity in my reality, right? If you've been drinking a lot, smoking a lot, whatever, that's not working with you opening yourself up to love, this is all that is important right now. So let's go ahead and look at these side energies as well. We're going to start off with ocean. I love myself. Could this get any more clear? Jesus is telling you with the Ascended Masters deck, open your heart to love. It's all about purity. So you gotta love yourself before you love anybody else, girl, because if you don't, like, how are you gonna even know? How are you gonna get anywhere to the top vibration? Then we have Mary Magdalene. I am radiant and holy, okay? And then we have the white ego. What? Say, hold on. Wait, ego? White ego? Oh my God. I am the doorway to peace. Wait, doorway to peace and white buffalo calf woman? Say what? Peace offering? Oh my God. The guides are with us and they're talking to us. What's actually really funny is, like, I've been channeling buffalo calf woman for a couple weeks now as well. I made a couple podcasts about it, and then, you know, this is the energy that she's bringing. She's guiding us during this moment. If you don't know anything about buffalo calf woman, I will also link something in the description below, because she's amazing. She's very very earthy when it comes to, like, healing yourself, sweat lodges, you know, vision quests, stuff like that. But it's very interesting how the cards are basically saying the same thing. Right now, internally, we just have to be focusing on transformation, aligning ourselves with the highest paradox. Because if we're aligning ourselves with the highest natures of our manifestation, what we're doing is quantum shifting, quantum jumping into a version of Earth that fulfills our soul. And here in spring, it's all about opening our heart right now to love, allowing ourselves to embrace the fact that we have the manifestations that we need coming to us, or that we've desired for a while. It's just going to be a little bit of a wait time, and you're not going to really be experiencing this manifestation right now until you've had some time to care for yourself and you've had some time to really analyze where you're going with your life. So these energies right here are heavily tied to Uranus, which Uranus has to do with change and transformation as well. Very similar energy to the Saturn energy. So then we're going to go look up here. This is going to be the summer energy. And in the summer energy, we have positive change with Pravati. Ooh, one of the great goddesses of creation and happiness and positivity. Good job. Going good so far. This side of the energy structure is going to be tied to Jupiter as well, your abundance factors. We have the rain. So the rain basically comes up and it's telling us, hey, this is a moment for us to also realize that, like, we're being refreshed. We're given an opportunity to wash ourselves from things that no longer serve us. Erasing things that no longer serve us. Okay. Opening ourselves to love while we do that, by loving ourselves. As we do this right here, erasing, we're saying that we love ourselves and we're opening ourselves to peace, and we are the doorway to peace, and we create the positive change. Right now, the cards are telling you exactly how you have to manifest to get what you want. Sometimes people think, oh, well, in order for me to manifest the next thing that I want, it's got to be really complicated. I got to do all this other stuff, right? It's actually not like that. It's just like, hey, what do I correct inside of myself? That's going to end up bringing everything forward, right? So the rain is also not only nourishing, but it's also like, make it rain, right? When you go ahead and you just like, oh, make it rain, right? It's all about money. It's all about abundance, because rain is constantly flowing. Rain is water. It's all about abundance energy. So then we have the Isis deck. The Eye of Horus, again, telling you that if there's something going on in your subconscious centers, it's a moment for you to really just master that, awakening a divine perception. Sometimes if you're awakening a divine perception, when it comes to, like, the Jupiter energy, it means changing your definition of abundance. If you were in the Thoth channeling that I did this past weekend, Thoth exactly tells us the same exact message, which is basically, if you change the composition of matter, or what you define matter to be, then it's going to change. That happens with every law in reality. If you have a certain definition for love or money or whatever, that definition is what's going to really dominate your reality. But the moment you change that definition and you actually live by that definition, you're going to notice that you have a divine awakening that changes your perception, and then now reality works differently. It's really as easy as changing your thoughts. The scales of balance, accessing forces of Tantra for the soul. So the scales of balance basically telling you that right now you're reatomizing your reality for positive change. The balancing is only going to take place if you make it happen. A lot of times people feel this cosmic energy taking place and all these things going on in reality, but they don't actually take the opportunity to say, oh, this is the moment for me to work on myself. This is the moment for me to be proactive, right? A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I read this tarot card and it said like things were going to work out for me. I'm just going to coast today. That's not the case. You're a conscious creator all the time. The tarot are just telling you what you need to focus on. The tarot are not going to do the work for you. The cosmos isn't going to do the work for you. The law of manifestation, being a magnet and also being a mirror, is not going to move if you're not moving, all right? Put that in your mind. You need to really be focused. And then we have the initiation, the spiritual testing of Ra and Lady Isis. So here we have a Ra card. We have a Ra card right here, okay? So we're starting to see, oh man, so not only is Buffalo Calf Woman like really stepping into us, and it's a Native American moment right now, Native American energy that's really taking place, lots of nature energy, all right? This is a moment that you should be reviewing all the earth alchemy stuff that I've been producing lately, all the neurocode stuff that I've been producing lately for that neurocode course and on Patreon, because this is a moment for you to like embrace higher nature powers, okay? A lot of times we don't think of nature as like this really powerful alchemic force that can work for us. We usually see nature as something that we live in and it affects us because we don't have any control over it, unless we're like being like, you know, mechanically in charge of it, right? Like being able to dig up the land or stuff like that. But actually the globe, the environment works not just with us, it works with animals. And you can actually see that. Like animals know when natural disasters are going to happen way before people do. That's because nature is communicating with the animals, right? So like in a way, our initiation during this May month is to really understand our nature, not only internally, but how the nature that we've created in our inner sanctuary is creating our outer sanctuary, and where those imbalances in between the two need to be corrected. That's why we're erasing things, and we had to be persistent with those actions constantly. And we need to be aware of the fact that, you know, we're experiencing divine love for self, being radiant, being holy, being a doorway of peace. The other day I went outside over here on this quadrant in the spring, and I just meditated outside in the sun. I swear to God, I felt like I got so high, and I couldn't understand it. Like all I was doing was like sitting in the sun. And as I, like every time I would get this peak of like feeling super high, like super intoxicated, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything, it just was like straight up energy. I would hear it like, you know, everything's okay, everything's in this moment. What else do I need other than this moment, right? And it was really powerful because that allowed me not only to open myself up and open my heart up to the present moment, letting myself be purified, but also saying I love myself and that I'm radiant and that I'm doorway to peace. And that's bringing in positive change and more abundance and allowing me to like change my perspectives and balance scales of myself. Ra has been talking to me very intensely too lately, mostly just allowing me to see, you know, let me change my definition of the world. And one of the things that I've been doing is like every morning, you know, a lot of people wake up in the morning and they don't say thank you to anything. You know, they might say thank you to life, or they don't say thank you at all. They just wake up and they move forward, right? Well, I wake up every morning and usually there tends to be the sun blasting through my windows and my hallway, and I wake up and I say good morning, Ra. Like I say good morning, Ra, to the sun. And I walk by this like little shrine that I have in my fame corner that's got a Sekhmet and Mat statue, and I say good morning, you know, Sekhmet, good morning, Ma, because those are my soul family. They're beings that have been carrying me on through hundreds of thousands of years. They're in my house. I live with them. I love them. I'm changing my perception of reality from living in this perception of reality that states, you know, I'm not going to wake up every morning and think whatever, right? I don't believe in God as a traditional God as other people do, but I do believe in Ra, right? Because that's where all my energy comes from. So why not say good morning to my grandfather and my auntie and my mother and my family? Like, that's what it is. Why not say good morning to, in Native American culture, the father, son, right? Or the great spirit of everything, because you're present right now creating on behalf of the great spirit as the great spirit. So the more you validate your own magic every morning that you're working, the better it's going to be for you. You're basically changing the atomized reality, not only in money, but you're creating it in terms of abundance, right? How many people can say like, hey, I wake up every morning saying good morning Ra, and I know that Ra's got my back. That's a form of abundance that most people don't even think is possible. So you need to put yourself in this position of like really embracing all of your spirit guides, really embracing your lifestyle as an ascension platform. Okay, it's not just enough for you to just, think about these things and kind of just have them in the back of your mind. You need to have this constantly happening, right? Yesterday I was talking to someone online who wanted to become a part of the Antojai Ascension Academy community. And as I'm talking to them, I kept seeing I saw 505, 515, 525. And he had mentioned in the first 5 minutes that he was channeling Thoth. And I was like, well, Thoth is my soul family. Thoth sent this person here so that this person could be aligned with their ascension through me. And I literally just embraced the fact that my cosmic father brought this energy to me, and of course this person became a part of the community so that they could grow their ascension. That's because I allowed myself to not see it as like oh, I'm just talking to somebody, right? I'm talking to this person because it's divinely orchestrated. If you think about everything in that fashion at all times, you're going to see more and more magic summon in your reality. So then we're going to go right here in the middle ground. This is going to be Neptune and Mars energy. So when it comes to the Earth energy, the Neptune energy, we have the Earthy card, solidifying our foundations. Neptune has to do with the aspects of our third eye and intuitive capabilities. This half right up here versus this half down here has to do with all wisdom and aspects of knowing, right? So right now is a moment for us to be really focused on solidifying our foundations with ourselves and with our community. How do you solidify those foundations? By solidifying the initiation in your own perceptions and your divine awakening, allowing yourself to change and embrace everything else that's been said down here, focusing on your nature, re-amplifying that, okay? So you can see how everything is pretty much connected to each other. Some people have more of a higher interest down here. Some people have a whole interest on the whole entire thing, right? Whatever resonates with you is what's working. But this is general, the whole entire month of May that's going to be playing out is what I'm basically giving you right here. So May is all about foundations. What are you creating in your foundations? It's not just the future that you're planning for, right? Like, I'm going to put my money in stocks so that I can cash it in the future. It's not even about that. It's about what is it that you want to be the energetic foundation to your reality at every given moment. Do you want your reality to be perpetually magical? Do you want your reality to be like full of love? Do you want your reality to be all about being easy and at peace, right? Like, if you're not doing any of those things, you're not going to tap into higher vibrational energy. So then this shaman card right here from the shaman deck is tied to earth energy, okay? So this earthy card was tied to Neptune. This card right here is tied to the earth aspect underneath. That card is basically telling you, and if you can see it at all, I'm gonna just pull it a little bit here, up here so you guys can see it. It's a guy looking in a mirror, and the mirror is broken, and he's putting that mirror together, all right? So this card right here goes very deeply with that card right there, okay? So now they're interlacing again, basically telling you that this moment right now is for you to really start looking at the aspects of yourself that were broken, throwing those away, maybe polishing them, and reconstructing a new self-image. The mirror that the man is looking at can be easily seen as the law of manifestation, right? Because it reflects everything that you put out there, right? So he's basically finding his foundations internally through the earthy card and then putting back the mirror in a new organization that works for him, an organization that allows him to make movements, solidify himself, find his dream state, make positive changes, love himself more, and also retreat in his own nature, finding peace and persistence in everything that he's doing. Regardless of whether or not you are on either spectrum or you're reading the whole entire thing, the message is clear. It's all about soul work during May, all right? It's all about changing the perception of the soul so that you can construct a new reality in the mirror that is the law of manifestation, all right? So purify yourself, and have that strength and courage, because it's going to be very, very deep this month. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the aspect of fall. So we're looking at Mercury, and we have Krishna. Krishna's coming out right now telling you, find the blessings in your current situation. Didn't I tell you that earlier somewhere else? Like, didn't I tell you that? I'm pretty sure I said that over there, and I'm pretty sure I said that over there, and I'm also pretty sure I said that over there. It's all gonna be very consistent. Finding the blessings in your current situation doesn't always mean like turning a blind eye to things that are like affecting you, right? Because everyone goes through something every day. It doesn't really matter what it is that they're going through. It's just mostly saying like, am I gonna let this control me, right? Like, and this is what happened to me yesterday, no joke. Yesterday I woke up and I was like, oh my God, gotta go to Whole Foods, gotta get these vegan donuts. Totally love these vegan donuts. I swear to God, since quarantine, I've been just trying to get these donuts, man. And it doesn't matter what I do, I just can't get them, because every time I get to Whole Foods, there's a line that's literally all around the corner. And you can tell these people have been waiting for like a hot, like 20, 30 minutes. I don't got time for that. You know, I got a lot of things that I got to do. All I want to do is run in there, get my vegan donuts, get out and go live my life again, right? But I can't. So after like driving past Whole Foods for like the last, I don't know, couple yesterday, I lost my mind. I didn't even interpret this until the end of the day, really, towards the end of the day, that like, because I was kind of like really, like really annoyed, and I couldn't figure out why I was so angry. And then finally it hit me, oh, it's because I woke up this morning, I've been wanting these vegan donuts for a hot minute, and I haven't been able to get them. That put the tone towards my day, the whole entire day. Like, oh my God, I could have had like a much more smoother day. It wasn't a bad day, but it didn't have to be as intense. And it's because I didn't find the blessings in the current situation. Maybe the reason why I didn't get those donuts is because I know subconsciously I'm not supposed to be eating those donuts, and like reality is working against me, saying like, oh, you want these donuts? We know you're not going to put in that much work to wait in a line at Whole Foods for 30-40 minutes to get inside and get these donuts, right? So in a way, like, I have to change my perception of saying, hey, like, there's this problem with my reality, and like, I'm not going to let it affect me in any way, shape, or form. So then here we have the Through card. The Through card is essentially telling you that you're breaking through any major limitations that are in your reality. You're tapping into your 12th chakra. You're tapping into understanding the cosmic wisdom of this present moment. Krishna is basically tied to Mars, movement, right? The biggest movements that you're going to make in your reality is by finding the blessings in the current situation and understanding that those blessings are being orchestrated divinely by the cosmos, because the Through card is tied to the 12th chakra overall. So it's very, very powerful stuff here to really think about changing how your perception of reality is essentially going to change everything else around you and allow you to find peace offerings. Yesterday, I definitely had to find this energy from Buffalo Calf Woman and White Eagle, basically saying, hey, I'm not going to let these donuts ruin my day. I ain't going to let these donuts ruin my life. How about I don't want these donuts anymore? And in my little like mini fit in the morning at like 9 a.m. in the morning, right? That's how bad I wanted these donuts. I was like, you know what? I'm never coming back to Whole Foods for these donuts again until after quarantine. And that's if I even want these donuts after quarantine, all right? They'd be lucky if I come back for these raspberry-filled vegan donuts, okay? And I was like, the current situation right now says I don't need these donuts. I'm totally gravy. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the remaining energies that are tied to the Pluto aspects, which is death and rebirth. So then we have the orange dragon. It's basically telling you to bring soul families and community together. It's basically telling you to spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. All right, so it's a moment for you to like make peeps feel good, like, you know, not to have any stress. But also Pluto's telling you that the cosmic dragon, the emerald dragon, is bringing lots of cosmic abundance to your reality. Good fortune is coming. So if you've been stressing out over here all about the money aspects, remember to change the money aspects over for your reality, and then you're going to see that, because Pluto is telling you that you're going to be creating community and you're going to have abundance coming your way. And then we have the earth and air dragon. It represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth, and to stay balanced, grounded in your visions, and manifest your hopes and dreams. Oops. That right there is all in alignment with manifesting your hopes and dreams, being present with your holy manifestations. Very much so, just re-solidifying everything that I said to you earlier. So there you have it. That is the month of May that you're going to be really focusing on. Erasing things, being in alignment with yourself, really focusing on these higher aspects. All this energy is pretty much coming back to the same messages about finding peace in this present moment. That is the most important thing that you're looking for. And, just constantly come back to this and see where you're at during the month of May. Like, are you more so in the aspects of winter? Are you more so in the aspects of summer? Are you more so in the aspects of fall or spring? Okay, or are you in the middle still, right? This is going to be the seasons that we run through during this month. So just kind of like sort of keeping a track of it is going to be very beneficial for you. Thank you so much for watching this. Comment Ascension below if it definitely resonates with you and your experiences that you've been having so far as May has begun, and probably the final weeks of April as well. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, or you're just looking to accelerate your ascension, go ahead, click on the links below this video, and you'll definitely be able to set up a free clarity call with me to find out what are your limitations, or send me a DM on Instagram saying clarity call, and we can get you started. I'm sending you all my love. I hope you have a wonderful day.